Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. Hey, I have got a lot of questions asked about Trias and the macro. I know I have a lot of followers that are Trias fans, so I want to do a quick video just kind of explaining fluidly in person my idea on the Trias chart. So let's hop in real quick. All right. So as everybody knows who's been following me and pays attention, now this is a chart that I've been watching. This is a chart that I've been trading, and this is a chart that has probably been causing some issues with some of my followers because I called the top up here and expected a large dump and a large retrace. This thing has gone a lot deeper than I had originally thought it would, which really doesn't mean anything. I've been trading the swings as I see them and calling the chart as I see it. So basically, if we would have bottomed here and put in our bottom, I still would have said that this was a 1 and a 2, and we would be on a 3, 4, 5, up to, the $200, $400, $500 range. That clearly didn't happen. So as a trader, I have to adjust my bias based on the chart. I do not submit my bias and just blindly go with it. First of all, I am not a bag holder. I'm not a Trias bag holder. I'm not a Trias community member. I am a trader. I'm a chart analyst. That's it. Point blank. That's where it stops. I do not care about Trias long term. I don't care if it dies. I don't care if it succeeds. All I care about is if I make money on the chart. That's it. So now that I got that out of the way, this right here is a structure that could do a lot of different things. Technically, if you look at it from an Elliott wave perspective, which is how I chart, this thing could, slim possibility, still be macro bullish, being a 1 wave, and then a very, 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 very deep 2, and then a 3, 4, 5, which to me is very, very slim chances of happening just because this thing went extremely deep. When I'm trading Elliott wave, I do not like my 3 waves to break and trade below 786. As we can see, this thing broke below even the 887, and it almost broke below and completely has invalidated a potential of 2 wave. If it goes below 60 cents, it has completely invalidated this macro bullish count. That doesn't mean that it can't become macro bullish at some point. It just means the count that I have it on this chart is invalidated. So that technically is still possible, but again, to me as a trader, raises red flags because it went deeper than I like to see a 2 wave go. So that is why I say this count, this 1, 2, this white 1, 2, 3 count is not my primary anymore. My primary has shifted to this being some sort of a larger degree corrective structure, being this yellow ABC looking like this, which would take us to, could potentially take us to 7 to 12 bucks, which is obviously a hell of a nice gain. And you can call that bullish, of course. That is my best case scenario, absolute best case scenario. My worst case scenario is that this is actually started a new impulsive wave down, which would be this red count, which is no different than the polar opposite count in the opposite direction. So this would just be a 5 wave impulse down instead of up, which means this is just macro bearish. So basically, if we get another low here and we end up dropping to 46 cents, that would be a 3 wave, and then you could have a 4 wave up, and then a 5th wave all the way down, potentially to 17 cents. Doesn't mean it has to go to 17 cents. This is worst case scenario. It could just break below, make a lower low at 40 cents, 42 cents, and then break back up and become, bullish again in an impulsive manner upwards. So that's all that means. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is just the way that I am trading these charts. But as of right now, the way I see this is this scenario here, to me, and is just as probable as this 3, 4, 5 coming down. So, I mean, really, we just have to play this chart and trade this chart level by level. If you're in my Discord, I had called the bottom in roughly. I think I missed it by about 2 cents. I was calling for about 76 cents. It ended up going to 78 cents. And then this formation started, and we ended up breaking out of this, what pattern traders call a falling wedge. And if you zoom in on a lower time frame, we do currently have a 5-wave impulse off of the low, which could be an A wave, it could be a 1 wave, it could be several different things that are starting. But ultimately, my bias, again, is best case scenario at this point, we get up to the 6 to 12 range in a C wave. This would be a C wave. So it should move impulsively, meaning it should move in a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And then from there, we will have to determine whether or not it's going to continue or not. I would imagine no matter what, if it reaches this area, we're going to have some sort of a correction, whether that be, a complete rejection, or whether it be the start of maybe a larger degree 1 wave. If this thing became impulsive and we did end up becoming bullish, this would just be a larger degree 1 wave, and it could correct all the way down. Again, I like to see 2 waves go, about 618 to 786 at the deepest. So if this thing ended up correcting in a 3-wave structure like that, and then went like that and broke back above, I would consider that macro bullish. And I would say that the macro target is back on track to reach this potential count. So just because right now I'm calling for potentially, guys, potentially this target here, that would be my best case scenario right now. That is exactly where I would be looking to sell everything I bought. Not saying I bought anything, not saying I haven't. It doesn't matter. If I was buying this trade and trading this chart on a swing trade and assuming that we were going to get a large swing, this is the area I would sell. And I would look to see what the reaction is once we end up retracing 618 to 786. Again, if we broke below that 786, then more than likely this thing would turn into some, larger degree corrective structure where it could do all sorts of different things from an Elliott wave standpoint. It could turn into, just a larger degree WXY. It could do all sorts of different things. If it does break back above 265 here, that would invalidate this impulse down. So again, there's a lot of different things this can do. Ultimately, given the macroeconomic situation, given, the way stocks are looking, the way the, DXY is looking, the way the currency crisis is potentially shaping up, there's a lot of different things from a macro standpoint that could be at play that could affect, obviously, what these charts do. So for me, I am basing my analysis 100% unbiased as possible on the data that's given to me on the chart, because that's the only data that is 100% true. Nothing else matters. No other bias matters. We don't know what the Fed's going to do. We don't know what the stock market's going to do. We don't know what DXY is going to do. We don't know what anything's going to do for sure. All we know is what is showing on these charts and what the data is presenting on these charts. So for me as a trader, I have to trade what is given to me on the chart in that exact moment. And that means that that data could change. That means that my bias could flip. If we get rejected here and break this low, my bias flips, period, 100% flips. And then that means I expect at least 46 cents. If it doesn't, if we end up getting, this type of structure where we come down, we hold between 87 to a buck, and then we pop back up again, then I will remain temporarily bullish. That does not mean I am macro bullish. That does not mean I think TRIAS will go to $100, $200, $300. It just means I am looking for higher targets in order to make more money. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. And, by all means, ask as many questions as you can. And join my Discord. I've got a free Discord. I'm in there active constantly. So, hopefully I provide some sort of value. See ya.